What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to build and play Sol in Season 8 of SMITE. Now, as some of you may know, I've already made a guide for Sol in Season 7, but one of my viewers wanted an update version for how to build and play Sol in Season 8 of SMITE, especially with the new starter items and the new conquest map, and you know how it's changed really. So I'm going to do an updated version for Sol, and it's pretty much just going to be a conquest build, because the build that you do for Sol in mid or carry or solo is pretty much the same for every single game mode. So I'm just going to go through that, and then I'm also going to give you some tips on how to play her, how to level her abilities, and just in general how to play her, in case you want to do really good. And I have been playing her quite a lot recently, so I've gotten really good with her Season 8 version as well now. So to start off with, it's going to be mid, but I pretty much build her the same in mid, carry, and she's even really good in solo just because of her survivability with her healing, especially with the new Death Toll. So that should already tell you that the starter item that I always go is a Death Toll. And then I go off with first item, tier of Bancrofts. So Death Toll basically, it's just good for basic attack gods, any type of hunter or Sol, because she's a basic attack. Restores 2 health and 0.75% of your maximum health, and then 1 mana and 1.5% of your maximum mana as well per basic attack you do. And for now it counts for towers as well, but if you're watching it and the new patch is out, then it's only going to be for I think enemy gods, and doesn't count towers anymore, so only minions and anything but towers. And it's a bit less healing, but it's still going to be a really good item for Sol either way. And then first tier Bancrofts, which you then upgrade into Bancrofts. So this already, whether you're in solo, mid or carry, just gives you so much survivability, because you've got healing from the Bancrofts, you've got healing from the Death Toll, and if you look at her one, you have healing from that as well. So it's just a really good start for survivability, really early game and late game. Now what I usually do is I only go first tier. If I have the gold for Bancrofts, then I'll get Bancrofts. If I only have like 1550 on my first back or 1600, I'll go for that instead. And bearing in mind, when you buy first tier Death Toll and first tier Tiny Trinket, you'll have 200 gold left, so I go for 2 health pots. In mid and carry, I'll go for 2 manas. But if I'm in solo, I will go for 2 multipots, just because you have the blue buff. So we'll sell them. You have a lot of gold, you get Bancrofts. If not, you get first tier boots. But that's pretty much just standard. These are the first 3 items that you will have in the game. And after this, it depends on how well you have been surviving. If you've been using your abilities really well to keep your passive up, then you will have a lot of gold, you will be getting a lot of kills, and you'll be surviving for longer, have a lot of gold. So if I have a lot of gold, I will go straight into a rod. But if you don't have a lot of gold, then you can choose to go for another lifesteal item or attack speed. Now I prefer to go into Telekines, just because the extra basic attack damage just really helps. So I'll go into Telekines. And a lot of the time with Sol, it's all about adapting into the game. So the reason I go Telekines is that early game tower push, especially, is a lot more gives the opponent a lot more pressure, or puts them under a lot of pressure, because you can just hit their tower and just take so much damage off it. And Sol destroys towers anyway. So that's why I'll go for a Telekines ring. It gives you the attack speed early game, and you'll be doing a lot of damage for your basic attacks. And I know a lot of people go for this ring, but I prefer to get my penetration from Karen's Coin, which is the next time I'm going to go on to. So as you may know from the Season 7 build, I used to go for Cronus Pendant and Book of Thoth, but I've realized that in Season 8, especially with Death Toll, Sol is much better as a basic attack or auto attack god, rather than ability. She's still really good in ability. I tried that when I first got back into Season 8, but it just doesn't work as well as basic attack does. So I will go straight into a Karen's Coin. Another benefit that you have of Karen's Coin is it's a flat 20% penetration. I know some people that are not good at hitting auto attacks. You got to hit 3 auto attacks to reduce that specific target's penetration by 10%. So you could be hitting one god, hit them twice, reduce 20% protections, and then start hitting someone else and they still have them. So the good thing about Khan's Coin is not only does his passive give you, movement speed and HP 5, but it's just a flat 20% penetration that you can just use all the time, really. And it applies to whoever you're attacking no matter what. So that's why I'll go for a Khan's Coin, and that'll slowly build up throughout the game. Alternatively, you can go for the Typhons. If you start seeing, now this is the main part that you got to focus on. The thing with solids, it's all about adapting. So I'm going to tell you all of the different things. So if they're not going anti-heal, go for Typhons because you're just going to survive forever in fights. You're going to be able to 2v1, you're going to be able to even 3v1, and you're going to, it's not going to be a problem for you because you're going to have so much lifesteal. You're going to have lifesteal from Death Toll, your boots, Bancrofts, Typhon's Fang, which doubles your magical lifesteal. Increases by 30%. I think it used to be more. Gives you power from it, and you're still healing from your one as well. On the other hand, if they are building anti-heal, it's probably best to not go into more healing because it's not as effective, which is when I'll go into a Karen's Coin. However, if you have a lot of gold, screw the Karen's Coin, go straight into a Rod because that gives you 10% penetration, which is not as much as Karen's, but the amount of power you get from 140, and then when targets get lower, especially Guardians or the solo laner if they're tanky, it's just annoying when they just escape with low health. Rod just gives you 25% additional magical power against those gods that are low health. But either way, these two items will be Rod of Tahuti and Karen's Coin. And that'll just really help you in all fights because that is basically leaving you 30% penetration for all of the tanks and solos. And anyone, if they've got like a Heart Ward that's giving other gods magic protection, that'll just help you shred through them and absolutely destroy them. And after that, you're just going to go Death's Embrace. Again, the healing is going to be crazy. And late game, you can heal that. And this is kind of, optional. If they've, again, not had a lot of anti-heal, I go Ring of Hecate or Hecate. If they do have anti-heal, then I'll go for more of a Spear of Desolation. It gives you some cooldown. You are a mage at the end of the day, so you do want, for example, your 1-up as much as possible, your 3-up for surviving, or your ult because it's one of the best ults in the game. I'll try and get some gameplay out soon of me playing Sol, but trust me when I say this, they've even improved this, so it's enemy kill or assist. Your non-ultimates go down by 2 seconds and your ultimate goes down by 8. That is really good from the previous passive that you just have to get a kill and it's reduced by 2 seconds. So with this team fight, you're going to be spamming out your abilities as well. Your 3 does a lot of damage, people don't underestimate it. So you can go to Spear of Desolation. If not Spear of Desolation, if we go earlier on into the build, we'll probably get, if they have a lot of healing, you'll get a Divine Ruin as your instead of your Rod, then get your Karen's Coin, and then after you sell your boots, then that's when you'll be getting your Divine Ruin, Rod of Tahuti. So that's going to be your Death Toll, Bancrofts, Boots, Telekines, Divine, Karen's Coin, sell your boots for Rod. If they're healing way too much, you can swap these two around as well. Get your Divine first, and then your Telekines, and then your Karen's Coin, and then Rod. I usually early game, the thing I've been experiencing is Sol is so strong that you're just going to have so much gold that I honestly sometimes either go Rod, second item technically after boots, or third item just in general, because it's just that good of an item. But most of the time, I'll just go for like attack speed. There'll be the odd occasion where you back with like 3k gold and you just go straight into a Rod. So as you can see, I'm doing 87 extra per auto attack. I'm doing more as you can see my heat going up. And then once her heat is full, you're going to be doing 100 extra damage per your basic attacks. And you're going to be healing. And yeah, it's just a really good build. So this is what I'm doing. Make sure if you're up to this part for some reason and not watched the rest, think about all the scenarios I've talked through. It all depends on the gold that you've got. If you've got less gold, you're going to have to go for less powerful items. If you've got more gold, then you're going to have to go for more powerful items just because you can. But at the end of the day, the thing is, if you look at my attack speed, with just one ring, I am at 1.9% attack speed, which is really good for just having one item because she does get that attack speed from a passive. And yeah, that's mainly how you want to be building Sol. So I'll try and put these in the right order of how I buy them. I'll kind of skip the really late game build, just because usually if a lot of people don't get there, I'll go for the standard build, which is after boots, Telekines. After Telekines, I like going Rod just because it destroys, but most of the times Karen's Coin and Rod. And that'll give you 600 power, and you'll just be slapping everyone in the face like they don't even matter. and there. So you got 92. So you're pretty much doing 300 per basic attack. You got 30% penetration, no worries against the tanks. You got 3 lifesteal items. Sell your boots. You can go Spirit of Desolation. Another ring if you want. If you want the extra healing, you can go. If you want the extra tower push. If you're carry, then you probably do want to go 2 rings, but most of the time, kind of just do what you really enjoy. Doom Orb is good as well, but I like to go for the Spirit of Desolation. And now we can just go and check how much we're destroying this guy. And there we go. We are doing almost 350 damage per auto attack. So that's how you want to be building Sol. I'll go for the relics. If you're in solo lane, you go teleport and then sanctuary. If you're in mid or carry, I go sanctuary and then either a beads or heavenly wings, just because after you upgrade heavenly wings, you'll get that fatalis effect where you can just keep auto attacking, chase the enemy, and it'll just be really good. I'll also just buy a speed potion just to make that look better. I'll also probably be putting the timestamps in the description below for when I'm talking about the build, and then now when I'm going to be talking about how to actually play her. So the basic thing obviously is if you're clearing wave, then just start with your 2. And the main thing that a lot of people just don't do is this thing that's spinning over here is your passive, okay? Keep that up. You're attacking, just attack anything if you can, even if you probably can't kill it, or you just want to keep your passive up, attack it on the way. Time how you do your 2. Wait until wait for it to go down. Don't start your 1 yet. Oh, it's a bit down now. Now I'll do my 1. So now it's up. A lot of people underestimate this, and now I've got this. I'm like, oh, I don't know what to attack. I'll activate my 3. It keeps your passive up. That's the main thing that you want to do. Throw that. Oh, I want to do this. And even a lot of the time, you'll sometimes be attacking, and then you'll be like this, and you're like, oh no, I need to attack that tower, but I need to keep my passive up. Just activate your 2, throw it somewhere else, it doesn't really matter. You need to keep your passive up for the tower. And that's one of the main things that you've got to do, is keep your passive up. A lot of people underestimate the passive and just play and they're like, oh, why am I not good? Why am I not doing a lot of damage? It's all about the passive when it comes to Sol. Do that, just keep it up, keep it up. Let's say I don't have my 1. Oh, just keep it up with the 3. You might not be getting away from anyone, but it's to keep up the passive. Don't activate your 1 yet. Let it go down. Oh, activate it now, because at the end of the day, it gives you 80%. So, first step to playing Sol, maximize your passive, or optimize it. Have it active for as much time as you can. If you're backing, or if you're not fighting anyone, you're out of fight for a long time, then maybe you can. But other than that, keep your passive up. Secondly, spam your 1 when you need to heal. Doesn't matter if you're like, you just lost a bit of health, it's free healing, so you might as well do it, and it'll keep your passive up. So do that, attack, keep attacking, keep attacking. Oh, you'll have lost a bit of health. If your enemy's going somewhere, just activate your 1, you'll get that extra heal. It's not going to do you any harm. So tip number 2, keep your use your 1 as often as possible. Number 3, optimize your 3. Your 3 can do so much ability. I'm going to try and demonstrate. So, this is my 3 damage on Ra. So now he's dead. We click T. Where is it? So, oh, it's not even come up because it only comes up with 3 because he's not really God. Right, let's just do it again. Do that. Do that. Okay. My 3 did a 2,000 damage to Ra. 2,000 damage. Now he may be weaker or whatever, but 2,000 damage is a lot. In most fights it'll do easy 750 damage, because what you gotta do is, if we take 1U for an example, got this, there. This is what's happening. You see what's happening here? He's walking here and he's just walking to me in my ult. No one understands that Sol 3 does a lot of damage. That just did 1,000 damage to 1U, all because I just pressed my 3 and just walk backwards, and people just brainlessly walk towards you. A lot of the time I just even die. A lot of the time I will literally go to enemies. So imagine this is the enemy team, and I'll just be fighting and I'll be like, oh, do this, and you just activate your 3 and you just go through them, and look at all of that damage. 242 per tick. I did 6,000 damage to one of the Odins, or all of the Odins, I guess. So tip number 3, maximize your 3. It does so much damage. And lastly, I guess, maximize your ult, because a lot of the time what I'll do is, oh, they're attacking me, imagine I'm low health. I'm like, oh no. You go out, press your 1, and then you ult. And then that is what kills them. The amount of time, I think I was on like 50 health. I kid you not, I was on a 50 health. And I'm in my passive and they're chasing me, probably a Thanatos. And he's just there like, oh no, he's going to attack me. 1, and ult in your same spot. And they're going to be dead. You see that? You activate your 1 and then you ult. Tip number 4, maximize your ult. A lot of people underestimate it. A lot of the time, bearing in mind when you do damage with your 3, you're life stealing as well. You activate your 1 for the heal. You heal 25% of your missing health. You'll also life steal from it if they are right on top of you, and then you ult right on top of them, and they're dead. And your ult does a lot of damage. And that's basically how you want to be playing Sol. Again, don't forget the first tip, keep the passive up. If you got the passive up, you'll be fine with all of your healing and all of your damage. And lastly, in terms of abilities, I level my 2 first, just because that's going to be your main clear, I guess. Secondly, I'm just going to check if the cooldowns actually go down as you level them, reduce cooldown. No, so they don't. So I'll do my 2. The 1 is good just because of how much heat it gives you, but I will either go for my 3 and my ult, mainly because actually no, I won't go for my 3. I'll go for my 1 or my ult. The 3 would be good if it's cooldown lowered, but it doesn't. It's mainly just your escape, and that's pretty much it. So I'll go with my 1 and then my ult, and then my 1 and then my ult after I've maximized my 2, that is. My 1 because it'll give you heat, your ult because it gives you 40% heat, and it does a lot of damage the more you level it. So maximize your 2, then alternate between your 1 and 4, and then lastly your 3. That's how you want to be leveling the abilities. Relics I've been through, and I think that pretty much covers all of Sol. If you do have any other questions about Sol, leave it in the description below. But that is the main start you want to be going. I'll just put the build out here one last time. That is the build I go. You can swap around the Karen's Coin and Rod. Sometimes, if they don't even have a lot of tanks, you don't even need to go Karen's, just go Spear of Desolation instead, and you'll have 10% penetration plus some base penetration, and that'll do really good as well. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, if you've got any more questions about how to play Sol, how to build her, leave it in the comments below. But then thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.